and welcome back to the Dragon's Tome. Um, I'm your host this week, Jack. With me are Rob and Pat.
Hello.
And what we do here is we do kind of a book club thing. We read a magazine, we talk about it, and we invite you to come along with us while we talk.
And
Just
eat tiny
any
sandwiches.
random magazine? It's just any in particular, Jack?
I read
So far,
I read a Vogue today.
did you?
That's what we're going over, right? You said Vogue.
Yes, yes. The Dragon's Tome does. Oh, Rob's voting a reference that's got to be at least 30 years old. It's gotta be. Okay, speaking of ancient references, yes, we are doing Dragon Magazine. We are on Dragon Magazine 110. We have a cover that has, well,
A dead guy.
most importantly, this is the 10th anniversary of Dragon Magazine. So
Oh
this
yes.
is going to be a big one. This one, if I were them, I'd put all my best stuff in this one, full force,
Oh yeah,
nonstop. Let's go. Let's.
it's gonna be just as good as 100.
Yes.
Mm,
This one might be a little bit better.
spoiler:
strugg-
this
I,
one
s-
stank.
Yeah,
I struggled with 100.
I struggled with this
a
one
little
too.
bit too, but not as bad as I struggled with 100.
But what we don't struggle with is this cover. This is a dope cover.
It's a
It's
brand new artist too, right?
yeah, Kevin Davies. It's the Vanquished Cavalier. And
Where's his
yeah,
shield if he's a cavalier?
Cavaliers don't they have what's it called? Lances.
I thought he
Anyways,
had shields too.
he took a an arrow to the chest. That's all that matters.
Yes.
I do believe that the unicorn had transformed and shot him, and
Oh.
just now is feasting around his body.
That makes complete sense. That little light from the unicorn's leg looks like he has a party hat on. Looks like the skeleton has a party hat, but it's
What?
it's a very nice picture. Don't you see the?
It is a nice picture. I'm not gonna justify
Yeah,
it.
party
But
hat,
it
right
does not
there.
look like he's a party hat on.
He's like he's smiling with a party hat on. Yeah,
It's his 10th anniversary of being dead.
I assume the unicorn wasn't his mount. I think that's just a random picture.
No,
Yeah, I think
Because-
he just wandered over there like, oh, what's that?
I don't want to alarm you guys, but desiccation like that takes a little while.
Oh, very much so.
Unless
So-
it's some kind of spell. Maybe that
Well,
was
that-
a cursed arrow.
Or maybe he's a lich.
Yeah, maybe he was already like that. He's actually not hurt. He's just sitting there.
Just relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
will say, to lose all that and be that decomposed and still be in that position is almost unheard of.
yeah. It's a magical world. His head would have rolled
That's
off long ago.
We have to spend reality for a little bit.
Okay, then let's
I,
suspend reality.
I retract my medical.
No, I'm not done with this, Jack. Please. It's this was June '86 is this magazine,
Please.
but look down the bottom. It was copyright 1984. So they've had this picture for 2 years in the hopper.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
that's a really good picture. I don't know why they want to use it.
Wow. We
Till
came
2 years
across
later.
one of the Elmore pictures or something that they had
Well,
forever.
Let me just say that maybe they didn't have this picture because it's a brand new artist. Maybe he did it back in
Yeah.
'84 and just finally gave it to him. So
Yeah,
I
could
mean, we
be.
could see that.
Could be that too. I do like the light sources. Anyways, Jack, back to your commanding.
Yes, yes. So, anyways, we are going
Totalitarian.
to. How dare you?
You speak when you're spoken to.
Sorry,
That's right.
I asked forgiveness.
Don't make
I've
him.
got.
Don't make him
I
invade you.
almost used profanity. It's a good thing I have this bleeping button here that if I use profanity, no one will hear it. Okay, so let's start. Let's get into the meat and
Oh
potatoes.
wait,
of this.
I have something to say before. I
Okay, I'm going to use the button. You son of a bitch!
It didn't work.
What?
But you're going to be upset when I explain why I interrupted. It was somebody's
Well, you see-
birthday yesterday. Whose birthday was it? Whose birthday was it?
In
No,
June?
we are. We
Oh,
are
in real life.
In real life, it's this
we
guy's
are
birthday.
recording on the
No,
December
no,
1st.
no.
So
Don't. Shh. This is December 3rd, and yesterday was your birthday.
Happy birthday. Everyone say wish Jack a
Oh.
happy birthday.
There you go. Now you yelled at me for wishing you a happy birthday. How does that make it feel for your birthday?
you son of a bitch.
Still didn't work.
I don't think it's connected.
Don't make me beep you.
Did you check the batteries?
Oh, it's not connected.
Oh.
And that's like a USB B, I think. Where the hell did you get that?
That actually looked like a printer cable.
I think it is a printer cable.
That's probably why it's not working.
Come on, take your
Anyway.
control here, Jack. Come on.
Let's move on with this. As we have now stated, this is live apparently.
No, it's the day
So
after.
who wants to go first? I say Rob. I see a little red there, and traditionally, whoever's wearing red goes first. So yeah, you got your Oni shirt on there. Your Cyber Oni.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
A lot of red right there. See,
No, you got your Battlestar Galactica shirt. Doesn't
No.
do it.
no, that's a. It
Okay,
looks like
Rob.
a prequel shirt, actually.
It was
Where are we going?
I don't know. Where are we going? Let me look. Let's go to the. Since we're talking about 10th anniversary, we'll go to the letter to the editor on. Well, no, the editor's letter, I guess, on page 5 in the letter section, but it's from the editor. It's talking about it's the 10th anniversary, but the thing, it's weird. This you read it, and he says that the subs have evened out over that time, so they're not expanding. That's a bad thing. Like, that's not good. You want to be expanding. So remember when we were first talking about it, they're like, oh, every year it's like another 100,000 subscribers. Now they're kind of, I guess they hit the apex of subscriptions. Yeah, but he wants to improve the magazine and get growth again, which is why they did the survey a few months ago, I guess, at this point. But we'll get on to more than that. I think in a future episode, I think, is when we talk about the survey. So, but this one, it's just he's saying that changes are coming. For the good, for the bad, probably for the bad.
You think that includes Dungeon?
Well, Dungeon's already been announced, but yes, that is coming. But that's got to do with this magazine. Changes are coming in this magazine. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. It's 10th anniversary, and old Mohair had something to say.
Mohan?
Mohair.
Molehair. His molehair suit that he has to wear to flagellate himself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. We will move on to what do you got for us, Pat?
Let's go to page 10.
Ooh.
Cult of the
Cult
Dragon.
of the Dragon. I'd like to point out, firstly, that this is the Dracolich picture that's made famous from the Monstrous Compendiums in color. Just taking a snippet of it.
This isn't color.
I know, but I'm saying the ones in color.
I know.
So basically, the Cult of the Dragon. This is a cult that Dr. Ed Greenwood, longtime listener, longtime friend of the show, created in his Forgotten Realms thing to, I guess, he wanted to kind of cross Forgotten Realms and dragons and weird dragon stuff with Dragonlance, because at this point Dragonlance is at its all-time high, and he's saying,
So you want
but
to
it's difficult
have his cake
to
and eat
integrate.
it too.
Yeah, it's difficult to integrate an ongoing D&D campaign with Dragonlance, because the dragon way they did Dragonlance is so differently from regular D&D in its sense, you know. So in order to cross that board, he created the Cult of the Dragon, which is prevalent in his Forgotten Realms, surprisingly enough. But the whole article basically talks about the cults befriending dragons and doing their work and slowly convincing them that dead dragons are going to rule the world after all the kings are dead, which is part of a prophecy that is read two different ways, he says. But it goes in depth, as Ed would do, on the rituals and the potions and everything on how to make a Dracolich. These cults will even prepare the hosts, because there's like several different things that can happen when you drink the potion. Like they can die. Is it die? Oh, the first, yeah, it doesn't work and causes them damage. The potion works normally, and then they just are still a dragon, but then they become a Dracolich as they die. They don't, And then there's one where they're slain instantly, but the potion works, and they have to transfer their spirit into a host, which has to be some kind of other reptile or other sense to do. And then, or it just doesn't work and they die.
It seems pretty. If I was a dragon, I wouldn't take that chance.
Yeah, well, but there's a whole list of things they can use and how they prepare the corpse for the hosts of the. Because I think the majority of what happens will be that they die, and then their body is transferred or their spirit is transferred into a host. Then it gives the statted out of the Dracolich, the Night Dragon, in monster manual form, and it just keeps going on, just an ed fashion of more information and backstory and everything else. So,
like Dracoliches were in Monster Manual by now, right? This isn't new.
I don't think so. I think these were.
Is this new? Like a Dracolich is a new thing?
I don't want to say yes because I'm almost, but I know it's not in Monster Manual. I know it's not in Feed Folio.
Yeah, so this might be a new thing for Monster Manual 2, or that's already out, I think. But
yeah, it might
be like you say for
2.
the Monsters Compendiums that are coming out.
Yeah, but it's all statted out here, so I would assume because it's all statted out and laid out in Monster Manual form that it's not out yet.
Because it would be redundant to put it here if it was just going to be an article about the
I will
lore.
Say,
it's not a mystery. Yeah,
or if anyone, I will say maybe if anyone's listening, because I can't remember, it could be in the Forgotten Realms box set as part of the creatures only available in Forgotten Realms in a sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously Dracoliches are pretty famous, but it'd be interesting if this is the first one.
Yeah, I'd have to do some research on that, but I do agree.
As always, we don't look up anything. It's our impressions.
No, yeah,
we'll rely on someone else to comment in the note.
We try to go from memory and what the articles tells us
and conjecture. Unless we have to find out if someone's dead, then I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And even then, we just
we assume.
Yeah, but it is a nice way. I thought it was a very interesting way of bridging a gap of D&D into Dragonlance.
Well, Dracoliches become a big set piece for many adventures. So.
Yeah.
Like as the big bad.
Then they take off,
Literally, on their bony wings.
Literally.
I don't think they can fly.
Because they don't have wings. They're just bones. Actually, can they fly?
I agree.
Well, I will beg to differ because in the stat it says move as performer dragon type.
Yeah. So you go. Doesn't make sense, but maybe it's magic. It's magic flying.
Yeah, we have to displace reality. Remember.
That is true, and if perhaps it was a Panlung or one of those dragons that never even had wings to begin with.
Yeah, they fly anyways.
So I'm wrong.
Falcor, he flew without wings.
He used his whiskers.
And he flew. He could fly for infinity because he never ended his story. So anyways, we'll go on to my first article, and it's not an article, and it's basically, if we could go to page 49, it's the module in this Dragon magazine, and I'm only bringing it up for two reasons. One, we had already discussed that Dragon was on the way, or Dungeon was on the way, and that Dragon was no longer going to be hosting modules, so this was a bit of a surprise. This is a module by James Adams, and the other thing
wasn't he a president?
Yes.
Before he became a D&D writer, he was president. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure I have my history right.
And wasn't he the one he wasn't the vice president that took over once
Reagan got shot? No.
Reagan.
Okay.
Reagan died? I'm so confused.
Yeah, Reagan. I think Reagan survived that one.
He did.
No thanks to Jodie Foster.
Not in Pat's reality.
No thanks to the Jodie Foster cult, which should have been an article by Ed Greenwood.
It will
Jodie
be.
Foster cult.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a band.
She's not done that much as an artiste.
Well, that's because she's like 96 years old now.
Anyways, this module, you just wanted to
Oh,
point it out.
the second part of it was that it was written, I believe. I don't know which page it is on, but I believe this was supposed to be an official module for like a ranked event.
Like at a Gen Con event?
I think so. Am I incorrect? Maybe I am. But anyways, the shocking thing is that this is still a module in the book that's not supposed to have modules on the 10th anniversary. And my big takeaway was a question to my compatriots. On a 10th anniversary, do you think a module is the way to go?
Well, not once Dungeon comes around.
Yeah, I don't
Or
think.
even-
I don't think Dungeon is out yet. It's been introduced.
Yeah, but
so
they
I
did
think-
just say that they weren't going to do any modules because Dungeon's going to do that. But
Yeah,
this
I
must have
wonder-
fallen in between the cracks.
I would supposition then maybe this magazine, maybe they've laid out magazines a couple months ahead of time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure. I'm
before
sure they
that
had.
announcement.
They were like, well, we have
Right.
this for the space taken up already. We're charging them $350, so we have to put something in
You know,
here.
or like the magazines laid out the modules in there, and now we made this announcement. Oh well.
Yeah, it's in between times. Yes.
So just one last.
Yeah,
just
we won't
kinda
see any more
squeaker.
modules. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Maybe not. I think there's one more.
I think so too.
Oh no. Okay, well I just brought it up for those two reasons. The fact that it was going to be made redundant because of a new magazine, and also did it have a place in a 10th anniversary?
I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes either.
Okay.
You think there should be something special in an anniversary issue? Is that what you're saying?
And I'm not dismissing the module as being bad, good, in between, or whatever. I was just, because of the other articles that I don't want to, step on any toes. We still have a full show to fill, and someone else might be broaching these subjects, but it takes up a lot of space, and
Yes,
I was kind of surprised at the module. That's all.
I
just
mean, I
thought
guess if you were going to put a module in, at least theme it for 10th anniversary.
Well, obviously, the House of the Frozen Lands is very 10th anniversary like. I hate the idea of anniversaries. Anyways, it should be by number. Only numbers matter. Every 100 you get to do something, or 50 even. But don't do it by year because it's annoying. I hate that. Comic books do it too. I hate it. Just do it by issue
so
number.
it would be like, oh, this is the bicentennial issue of,
Yeah.
not, hey, we've been doing this for
Yeah.
13 years or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's, hey, this is issue 100. That's a special number. Where
Big.
110 is not a special number, right? And it's just coincidentally
Okay.
110 happened to be the 10th anniversary of Dragon, because at the beginning it wasn't monthly. So
Yeah, it wasn't every month.
So maybe I'm placing too much.
they did too. They
Emphasis.
they had it right on the cover, 10th anniversary. It's not.
They did,
Yeah.
and so but maybe a little splash on the cover, and I'm invested in this, and they okay. Anywho, well, how about we move on to one of the other articles that maybe does bring the heat in this magazine. Rob, what do you got for your second?
Are you saying the Cult of the Dragon to bring any heat?
I would say that I'm looking for more heat. I'm looking for the more heat, the better, for my $3.50.
You're looking for a 101 pitch, huh?
I'm looking for the one that wows me, the one that knocks my socks off, that makes me go, wow.
Okay, we're gonna go to page 79, just because I
So
want
this
to
is gonna
talk
be
about the cover for a second of Ares. Maybe I'll just split this into two since I have no articles. So this is my article, the cover of Ares magazine. What I like about it is it reminds me of Wetsuit from G.I. Joe. He's my second favorite underwater G.I. Joe guy.
Or what's the underwater James Bond battle film?
Thunderball?
Moonraker.
Was it Moonraker? No, Moonraker is the one in
It's
space.
on the
where they
moon.
had the battles.
That's why he said it. I think is it Thunderball? I don't remember.
It might have been Thunderball. You're right. It was Thunderball because they had to get the nuclear weapon from the Crash Stuff 4.
Is that the one where the car transforms?
No, the Scar Transforms is the Roger Moore one,
Was it?
and I think it was.
It was a Lotus Esprit, I believe.
Yeah, it was a Lotus. It was the man. Maybe it was the man with the golden gun.
I don't know. Anyways, this is a Wetsuit and his buddy Other Wetsuit going to invade a Russian sub. I love this cover. I think it's really cool. And
I just point out that this is actually for Star Frontiers.
I know. It's all about the underwater stuff. But anyways, I just like the cover. And I can't wait to see more Ares covers in the future because this is something that's not going away. I love Ares. So we should embrace it.
I can't tell if you're being facetious or not.
He is.
We'll find out in the further months.
Because I like Ares. It has a lot of stuff that.
Oh, I do too. That's my point. My facetious part was saying that it's going to last forever.
Oh, I got it.
But the question that has been raised now that needs to be broached. Rob has said his second favorite G.I. Joe. Now,
no, second favorite underwater G.I. Joe.
Oh. So Deep Six?
No.
Deep Six. The Abyss, is it? I forget that guy's name now.
I'm going to knock everything over.
Who's the actor from The Abyss?
This is my favorite underwater G.I. Joe right there. Torpedo!
Torpedo.
Yeah, I didn't knock anything over grabbing him either.
I don't know why I didn't get that name.
Torpedo! He's from Hawaii, so you have to say it like that. Yeah, so that's my article because I'm going to really eke it out because I have hardly any other articles. So,
Okay, so Pat,
I have articles.
Good.
What's your second favorite underwater G.I. Joe? What's your second article?
Squidface is my favorite.
He probably liked the cobras. He probably is all about
I'm all about the
eels.
for sure.
The eels.
All right.
Eels.
So we are going to go to page 18.
Oh, I'm playing with Wetsuit. I'm playing with.
I thought Rob would have grabbed this one for sure.
I don't even know where we are. The Norse one, yes.
Yeah, for better or worse.
It's because you always take the what are they called? The religious ones. I don't know what you would even call them. Deities and demigods kind of articles. So I left this one for you.
The pantheons.
Pantheon. That's what I was looking for.
So
and by leaving it for you because you love them, I think Rob means he's letting you leap onto the landmine that is 2 articles about the Norse mythology, both exceedingly long.
I ignored the second one.
I skimmed these.
And it was just... Well, there wasn't much reading on this other than...
Yeah, it's a lot of just the gods.
Because it's a lot of stats. It's just a lot of stats. Basically, it's like... So basically, 2 guys wrote 2 articles for the Norse mythology that wasn't covered in Deities and Demigods, or AKA Legends and Lore, which is pretty much the fifth printing of Deities and Demigods.
Which isn't out yet.
So these are gods that I guess these guys must be Scandinavian in heritage because they went deep.
Yeah, they're more like
this guy. The first guy went deep. The other guy just kind of wrote a couple articles of gods that you didn't know.
He didn't set him up either. The second guy didn't set him up. This guy went.
This
crazy.
guy went to hipster school and went deep with the unknown gods of the Norse mythology.
Well, there's a really good book by Neil Gaiman all about Norse mythology, and it's I know most of these gods from that book, so there you go.
Yeah. See, I didn't know most. Like I did, the ones I didn't know were like Golvig is that girl, the black magic girl, a god, and Njord, the sea god. It never occurred to me that watching any of those Viking TV shows, even the TV show Vikings, not one of them mentioned a sea god. They always talked about Odin or Thor or even.
I think didn't Floki? I think he was sea god kind of guy.
No, he was all about Odin.
Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of different god. They're not really gods in Norse.
They even talk about a dragon in the underworld. Which
I would call them demigods, really, because
I would call them demigods. They're not full-on gods.
Yeah, they're not like big guys.
There's even one who's not even a god. She's just a giant sorceress. She's the cloud giant. that works with the good guys.
Yeah.
The second article does differentiate between gods and demigods, and does leans a little more towards that. But these certainly are demigods and heroes.
Yes, some of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, some of them are even like frost giants and stuff. It's like, okay, whatever.
yeah, it covers like the pantheon that, like some of these I don't even know. And then if you read the Neil Gaiman, maybe you know it. I didn't.
Yeah, it had all because it's he kind of put all the stories into order. Kind of, he took all the separate stories and kind of put them together. So a lot of these names I recognized.
Yeah, so we'll tap the second one, like you said. It's basically almost the same thing, except for there's not much statted out. It's just
more
background
descriptions,
stories of most of these gods.
This is the one that was more like that because it actually tells the story each one's in, kind of.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that's my article.
People like Freya though. Freya should be in the Duties Demigod. This one has like major people. Loki.
She was in the Demigods. Frey and Freya were both in that.
So these ones are just expanding on them a bit more, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of space taken up.
Yeah. It is.
Well, they only honestly, I think they could have just done with the first one and skipped the second one,
or done both, but not in the same magazine.
No shade to Carl Sargent or anything, but
no,
it was a rehashing of the first one.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they either choose one or the other. Don't do them both, or do one and then like next year do the other one. Like why put them together?
What I was going to say, my take is they didn't need both in the same article. It was, but.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the editor, I would have just picked the first one, and then.
Well, but then you would have had 5 pages worth of empty space.
I would have been honorable mention. I would have put a module in there.
Yeah.
Now I know the two of you are being rapscallions. Both of you are not being truthful with your opinions now. So I'm going to take over, and we're going to go to my article, which Rob broke the seal on this one a couple episodes ago, allowing for something from the humor section to be.
I always have the humor section.
So if we could go to page 99, and
Dragon Mirth.
Dragon's Mirth, and we're gonna go down to the second one, the Cleric's Corner, and it's lesson.
This was 7, one of mine too.
Proper weapon selection, and it says, "I used to carry a Lucerne hammer. Imagine my embarrassment when I found it was a polearm."
Yep.
Now I think everyone pre-internet who didn't really have access to, there was weapons listed.
Yeah, unless you went to like a museum all the time with a polearm collection, you didn't know what a Lucerne hammer was.
Or you were really into medieval weapons.
You go to the library and get a book out on medieval weapons. You wouldn't know that a Lucerne hammer. There is a hammer.
On a long pole,
but it's more of a spear-like bladed weapon than anything else. And the humor being that this cleric, who had been wielding it in his reality, the truth of his reality, didn't realize that it was a bladed polearm, and then he had to now switch to a mace because he found out that there was a polearm. So it was an in story.
I did read this too, and it kind of hit a soft nerve because I do remember one of my buddies thinking, "What kind of hammer should I?" And he's looking at all the lists,
and you look at the stats
list in the player handbook. He's like, "Oh, this one does good damage, so I'll take it. It's a hammer."
Yeah,
we all know someone who did.
That's why I said this is more of a truism than a joke. This is just everybody's done it.
Yeah. So
it was
okay.
Well, that was why that Palladium, I think it was Palladium, did the book of all the weapons and stuff was good, because then you're like, oh, that's what this weapon looks like. Oh, you really get a sense of what everything is all of a sudden, and that's when we were like, okay, I want a Zwei handler or Zwei handler because it's cool.
A bill hook and a guisarme and a glaive.
Well, pole arms. There's so many different types of pole arms. It's ridiculous.
What the heck is this? Well, we all know what the glaive is.
Halberd.
No, it was one of those books that taught you how to say the word bardiche.
Yep,
it's a
bardish.
The glaive clearly is a giant shuriken with blades that come out, and a cyclops gets crushed in a doorway.
That's true. We know what
all know that.
That's true. Yep.
Okay, so that is the articles.
No, I remember I split my one so I could have another article, Jack. I actually have 2 more articles.
is an intriguing thought.
I have
but
one more. I have one more article too.
Well, I have two more articles, but one of them's just a quick hit.
Well, I did look at some of the comments on our videos, and someone did say that they don't mind the longer videos. So I believe it was Pig Farmer 23. Was that their login?
I don't know, Jack.
Good thing-
Don't
it's a good thing you wrote
use your
that down
brain.
with a
Yeah, too bad you don't have a pen. Ah! Let's go to page 86. It's the Marvel file.
You're all going to be embarrassed when it turns out that is.
If it is you,
That is
please
the
comment
login.
below.
Yes. I'm
yeah.
only allowing this because I'm only allowing these two animals to break the rules for you.
This is Marvel File. It is Riders in the Storm. It's all about the Ghost Riders. But the funny thing about this one is Ghost Riders 1, 2, and 4 are not Ghost Riders anymore. They've been retconned to be called Phantom Rider instead to avoid
Oh,
confusion
really?
with Ghost Rider. Yeah. So there's
See,
only
I
one
haven't-
actual Ghost Rider in this article.
I'm so far gone from these
and also
characters.
after this, there's about 4 other Ghost Riders after this. So Johnny Blaze is the only Ghost Rider that is officially a Ghost Rider. All the other ones are Phantom Riders.
Well, I don't think there's any other Ghost Riders at this time
No.
in
no.
'86.
I think 89 probably was when Danny Ketch came in with his cool bike in the cool 90s. And then, what's it, Robbie Reyes, I think, is the guy with the car.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes with the car.
Yeah, that's later. So, yeah, I just thought it was funny that half these Ghost Riders aren't Ghost Riders anymore.
It's almost like Ghost Riders are like an archaeological dig of what society is at the time. Like
Yeah.
the 90s is the extreme Ghost Rider, and then you
Yeah.
go down to the 80s, it's just a guy on a chopper, and you go a little further back, and it's a guy on a horse, and you go a little
What?
further.
Do you know why they changed them to Phantom Riders?
Why officially? I'm probably money for some reason. I'm sure there's
Follow the
some.
money. That's
I
Yeah.
only know the Carter Slade story.
Yeah, those are all the
This story
Slades
is-
are the Phantom Riders. Yeah.
I mean, but the Carter Slade one is the one that. I mean, if he had a story, he's the Ghost Rider story. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're all, well. The Ghost Rider himself has a demon in inside of him, which the other guys don't. They're just ghosts who take vengeance. The Ghost Rider actually has a demon in him, a vengeance demon. So
Yes.
I think that's the difference. I think it was confusing when there was other Ghost Riders. So they're called Phantom
So-
Riders now.
But what about the one that used his 6 shooters to kill angels?
That
You know, when
Constantine.
the angels came to Earth, and then he had to hunt them down, and then there was a priest who kept telling people to do things.
Oh,
He had a zombie sidekick. It was
and it wasn't zombie. He was a vampire. your
It's-
story was
it's
just
a little
like 6
confusing.
degrees of preacher. That's what that was. It was just a little off. I was like, what? Yes, the Saint of Killers. He is sort of a Ghost Rider. I think he's more of a, yeah. He is a spirit of vengeance. That's for sure.
well, Rob calling me just a little off is probably the nicest thing he's ever said to me.
It is your birthday, so.
It is my birthday. I can tell truly now.
See,
Um,
I have to lie on your
okay.
birthday.
so Pat, happy birthday to me. What's your third
My
article?
last article.
Second article.
This is my last though.
It's your second article, though.
It's my third.
Pat,
You're
it's
not
your
fooling
second
anyone.
article.
You're not fooling anyone.
You're not very good at
I can't lie to Jack.
Not on my birthday,
Not on his
Terrible.
birthday. That would be.
which canonically was yesterday,
That'd be.
because we're
Insulting
recording
you.
live.
or tomorrow.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna go to page 32.
32. I'm amazed you
And one
didn't
of
pick this
my-
one
One of my all-time favorite characters from the Forgotten Realms.
because it's Ed Greenwood.
And Ed, well, no, I always liked Elminster from the Forgotten Realms books. But Ed finally breaks down. I don't know if he did this in the box set or not, but he actually makes a whole thing about Elminster, setting him out, a list of spells and equipment. He has, even though he lists a certain amount of spells up to a certain level, but then says the guy who's supposed to be writing this story, because in true Edward fashion, it's a tale being told. He wouldn't say any more about what spells he knows. One One of the things I thought was interesting about this is I didn't realize that Elminster was a psionicist. Apparently, he just doesn't like to use it.
Oh, yeah. He's got to have everything. He's
Yeah.
he's the Mary Sue of the.
And I guess he's been gifted the ability of true sight, so now he can recognize all illusions, so you can never fool him.
Now, forgive my ignorance on this. Now, I have a question that you two may not even know. Is Elminster Ed Greenwood's character that he started and played, and then it became this? Or is this his self-insert into the world in which he can then...
Those are very good questions. I don't know the answer.
I think
I'm
he was
sure
always.
If Ed is listening, he can comment
That's true. That
when
is
he's
true.
listening.
But I think
I would like to believe that it was a character he played.
Yeah, see, I don't think it was a character. I think it was an NPC because I think he was always the GM. So I think he was an NPC, but in the world though, like
A third option.
unless
Yes.
maybe he did play it early on and then became a GM after. But I think
would
he
like
was
to
always
think
a
it was,
GM.
but Ed, if you're listening, could just give a comment, please.
And also by reading the description of the character as written here, Ed grew to become the character in the description.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So yeah, either way,
unless
the reality art
imitates life. Yes.
art imitates life in this regard.
Unless
included-
he always had a long beard and like maybe even when he's like 20, he had a long white beard and gray hair. But yes, he literally looks like this picture now. So
Exactly. One of the cool things is he included 3 Elminster created spells. And I don't think I've seen these spells anywhere else, so hopefully these are one-time creations. So,
who knows? There's a lot of spell books after this that might have them.
but if you're a big fan of Elminster, like I was, it was a good read. It was nice.
There's a lot
Very
of
informative.
there's a lot of Ed in this issue.
There is.
He's on fire as always. But yeah,
He's the one that's going to fill up those extra 5 pages.
Oh yeah. He could do that with both hands tied behind his back. If they said, "Yeah, we're scrapping one of these Norse myth articles. We need 5 pages," and he just
And I'll be honest, and for the most part, it wouldn't be bad.
no, it'd be the ecology of something.
is there any
So-
ecology in this one? I don't think there is there?
I think the Elminster is the ecology.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's the end of our
No,
articles.
no.
We're good.
One last quick one, just because this is nostalgia for me. Page
Okay.
66 is previews. I just want to mention that its previews is Children of the Atom is out for Marvel Superheroes. That is the very first Marvel Superheroes book I bought. As always, I buy things not knowing what they are when I was a little kid, and I bought this module instead of buying the actual system, but because it had the X-Men on it, and I was like, ooh, X-Men. And I bought
Since we're
this.
here previews, I'd still like to point out that the Honeymooner Games is still for sale.
Yes. The Honeymooner game is very important, but not as important as Children of the Atom, the X-Men book, which I had until I lost all of them somewhere in a move, I guess, because I have no idea where all my Marvel superhero stuff went. It could be in a box somewhere. It could be in the garbage. I don't know. So one day, maybe I'll find it and be like, oh, and probably not.
Might be
There
able
will
to
be
find
a
it
day
on
when
YouTube.
I excavate my D&D stuff, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, "Yep, there it is. All the stuff I said, I got that somewhere."
Yep, there it is. Rob's Marvel superhero stuff I stole.
That's right. And the Honeymooners game, and I'll be like, "Oh, the Cramdens, when will they ever win?"
The Cramdens never.
They're the
cursed.
advanced rules. If you can win with them, you're really good. Okay, I'm done my articles, Jack.
Okay, well then let's go on. What do we do after articles? It's been so long, I forget what we. Oh yes, we do ads. So
Urge.
each of us, we're gonna go round robin style, and we're gonna
I only have one
point
ad.
out an ad that we wanted to bring to the attention.
I
of
might
the
have one
viewer.
ad. I had 2 on paper, but probably only 1 in reality.
Oh, he's very cryptic.
Okay. Well then, Rob, you've got an ad.
Sure. Page 21.
Yep, that's the one I thought I was going to get swiped for me.
Battle Force, page 21. It's a mass battle version of BattleTech, which today it becomes Alpha Strike. It's kind of what Alpha Strike's based on. But I do love this ad because every single one of these mechs in this ad are unseen, and within a few years they would not be able to show these mechs.
Exactly.
Not even the Marauder?
There isn't a Marauder in this picture, but Marauder is an unseen, yes, because it's from Robotech or / Macross.
No, there's a Marauder.
No.
Isn't that a Marauder?
Oh yeah, the Marauder in the middle. Yeah, I just saw him. Thank you, Jack. You pointed him out. The guys over here are from I think Dugrum, and
they're Battle Masters.
We got a Warhammer in the front here, which is from is the Robotech or Macross. This head down here is a Stinger or something from. It's a Phoenix Hawk or whatever. Yeah, so a lot of these things are you can't see them anymore, so it's kind of funny. But Battle Force, yes, that was. I just thought it was funny that good old FASA, they are always getting sued.
Battle Force.
Okay. Battle Force.
Pat, since you had your ad stolen, do you have another backup?
43.
43.
43.
Is it the Starfleet battles?
No, but I
armies?
I did look at that and I was like, what is this? I didn't know anything about this. Learn how to play this game in 6 turns. But that's not my article. I bypassed that because if you can learn to play that game in 6 turns, good luck. It's traps.
Yeah.
It says the troll is back. I didn't know this thing was out of print then, and I didn't realize they reprinted it.
Yes, Grimtooths. We definitely had this in our group. Someone had one of these.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember it too, but I don't remember it ever not being in print.
And I don't remember it being this old. To be honest, when I got it, I thought, again, I probably never looked at the...
Well, Traps 2 is around this time, is what I seem to remember.
Yeah, it says Grimtooth Traps and Grimtooth Traps 2 are now back in print. There's going to be a Grimtooth Traps 4. I never knew they went that high. I only knew of 1 and 2. I've never even... There's a 3, obviously, and a 4, it seems.
And at this time, they were already on 4. Like, that means that the first ones were considerably...
Quite old, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I would have thought they were contemporary.
Never once did I think this thing ever went out of print.
Well, back then, I think smaller print runs. I don't know who. It doesn't. I guess it's Task Force Games who actually makes it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's one of those things where it's always a third party. You just see them, like I say, the Palladium Weapon Book or those kind of things. Where it's obviously you're going to use it for D&D, but yeah, they made it non. What do they call it? Agnostic, so you can play it in anything.
As a supplement to, but not a licensed property of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you do license. You do the open license, but is that Alpha Wall Armies? Is that a Chocobo that guy's riding?
I don't know what it is. It looked like a giant emu to me.
I think it's the first Chocobo ever in print, right there.
It's the bird that the wizard riding in the cartoon Wizards.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
That's probably what it is exactly.
But it wasn't the wizard riding it. It was that bounty hunter with the goggles on.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. No, the wizard that shot the Hitler Lich at the end. I don't remember him riding anything.
No, his brother stayed in whatever castle he was in.
He's riding on Tolkien's coattails. That's what he's riding.
What?
Oh,
how dare you?
I've never seen Wizard.
The only common link is that some of the animation in Wizards is the same as the animation from Lord of the Rings.
It was by the same people, right?
Return of the King.
Yeah.
You could argue that rotoscoping might have been involved, but
that's the only common link between those two stories.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go for my ad. We're going to go to page 9.
9.
Page 9.
9, I refuse.
The Terror of the Lich Master. Which,
I was going to say, this looks very Warhammer.
It is Warhammer-ish because it is, I believe, a board game in which, a board tabletop game in which you are defending against the armies of a Lich Master in a kind of, must be standees kind of battle.
Oh, you know what it
situation.
is? It's a campaign supplement for Warhammer.
So the miniatures game.
Oh. So it would have miniatures.
Yes,
For the-
you'd have to use
Wow.
your Warhammer miniature army.
There was no. I think even back here. Remember, Jack, when we checked out Warhammer, there was a lot of standees still. Because this does have, I think, comes with cardboard buildings and things like that, right?
Yeah.
It never said miniatures. So
I don't
Oh,
think there's
it
any
does
miniatures
say-
in
It
this.
says card counters for forces involved.
Yeah, there's no miniatures. Yeah,
Okay.
but I just from the artwork, I knew it was definitely GW.
Yes. Citadel had a style that was still not its the iconic, but the proto style is there.
Rick
And,
Priestley wrote it too.
He
and I
did.
can
Yeah.
imagine some of our friends from the UK, certainly some of those we know, but also some of the people that are listening right now. This may be something they played.
Yeah, I'm sure if this was an early supplement, it's funny that it's done by Citadel, not by GW. So it's not third party because Citadel was at this time was owned by GW, I think. So
I think Citadel started off as GW.
yeah, so it's like
GW and Citadel were under the same hood.
yeah. So
But
it's
this
strange
is-
that it's
It's written by Rick Priestley, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
Oh, it's legit.
It's-
Yeah.
it's
From
the
what-
real deal.
I think what I was told is that Citadel was the miniature side, Games Workshop was the game side.
Well, that doesn't make sense then because this is a game supplement with no miniatures by Citadel, though. It's so confusing.
Well, regardless, Citadel gets absorbed by Games Workshop. It's
Yeah,
just all Games Workshop.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't get if they don't get their act together, they're gonna fall by the wayside. No one will ever remember either of them.
No, yeah. With products like this, I can see why they didn't last.
I mean, because the company is Citadel Miniatures. It's just not Citadel Miniatures. So
Yeah. Well, they did paint too. Citadel.
Yeah,
paint.
I was gonna say maybe they became just the paint wing of the juggernaut that is. Yeah. Okay, well that's my ad. I think we've covered things pretty well. This is
As
an
always,
episode
Jack,
for the
your
ages.
your episodes are always too long. I don't know what you do.
I know.
they're so long.
I indulge all of your petty fantasies, all of your whims, and your needy.
Petty fantasies. That's hurtful.
It's the name of my memoirs.
Petty fantasies.
But it's all about Tom Petty though.
It's not Tom Petty who visited you in your dreams.
When you were a roadie for him, it's your
Yep.
life story of when you were a roadie for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
From your days as a schoolboy, just daydreaming, looking out the window and seeing Tom Petty chasing a squirrel, to when you finally met him, to here.
He was riding a unicorn,
Yeah,
propped up against a tree.
with an arrow in his heart.
Well, it was a heroin needle, and it wasn't a unicorn, but
Whoa. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap this up now. Someone's gonna get sued. So, for the Dragon's Tome, I've been Jack.
I've been Chopper.
and I'm Rob.
Do all the links.
Bye bye.
Do all the links. And the Panthers. Jaguars.